All right. Hello, everybody. I think I got my horizontal slash vertical complications out of the way. Now the dog wants to bark, so there's always something going on when you want to do something. But hey, it's a Monday. What do you expect? So this is Game 7, 1975 World Series. Game 7, tied at 3 apiece, obviously. And if you caught Game 6, or if you hadn't caught Game 6, you should go back and catch Game 6. It was on the inside pitch, and there were some late inning heroics to force a Game 7. So right now we're at Game 7, Strat-O-Matic, and these are the as-played lineups, of course. And we are at Fenway Park, and it's actually a good day at Fenway weather-wise and ballpark rating-wise. Singles, 1 to 16 for lefties, 1 to 13 for righties, but more importantly, home runs, 1 to 11 for lefties and 1 to 17 for righties. Hey Brandon, how you doing? Finally got my horizontal hold thing straightened out, so hopefully it shows up okay on camera now. Let me pull it up on my computer so I can see what you're seeing. Yep, looks like it's correctly on the vertical slash horizontal type side. All right, starters for today's game. For the Boston Red Sox, it'll be the spaceman Bill Lee. And for the Cincinnati Reds, it'll be the left-hander Don Gullett. They will be on the mound in this Game 7 to see if we're either going to repeat history or rewrite history. Let's go through the lineups for each team. First for the Cincinnati Reds, and again, these are the as-played lineups. Leading off at third base is Pete Rose. Batting second at second base is Joe Morgan. Hitting third, doing the catching, Johnny Bench. Batting cleanup at first base is Tough Tony Perez. Hitting fifth is left fielder George Foster. Hitting sixth, shortstop Dave Concepcion. Batting seventh, right fielder Ken Griffey. Batting eighth, Cesar Geronimo. And batting ninth, using pitcher hitting card number 4, is going to be Don Gullett. Now for the Red Sox, leading things off will be Bernie Carbo in left field. Denny Doyle is at second. Carl Yastrzemski's at first. Pudge Fisk is behind the plate, batting cleanup. Fred Lynn's in center, hitting fifth. Batting sixth is the third baseman Rico Petrocelli. Batting seventh is Dewey Evans in right field. Rick Burleson bats eighth. And batting ninth, the spaceman using pitcher hitting card number 1, Bill Lee. All right, so let's get everything into place so that it shows up on the camera so everybody can see it. Make sure I try not to bump too many things here so we're not getting jostled around too much. And let's see here. Hi Statistician, how are you doing? Let's see, I think we've got everything where it fits now. If I'm looking down through my phone now and I'm looking on my screen, I think I got enough room maybe to slide this over just a hair to get everything fully on camera, and I think we do now. All right, so Bill Lee finishing up those warm-up tosses, and he gets the call in Game 7. And of course, just about all hands on deck in the bullpen for each team. There's no rest. They have all year to rest. So pretty much the only guys that aren't available are Gary Nolan and Louis Tion, who were the starters in Game 6. Other than that, pretty much it's, hey Forever, how are you doing? Pretty much it's all hands on deck, as with most typical Game 7s. All right, I think everything is lined up now. I can actually take a seat and get this game underway. Each team, the home team, has won all 6 games, so it's either going to continue or Cincinnati's going to break the trend. We'll see how it plays out. All right, so Pete Rose steps to the plate. He's a switch hitter batting right-handed against the lefty Bill the Spaceman Lee. And Game 7 underway. 6-8 switch hitter batting batting right-handed, and he hit the good spot on Bill Lee. 1 to 5 is a double, 6 to 20 is a single. So Pete Rose, leadoff single for Pete Rose. He's not a threat to steal. He did not steal any bases all year. So, but he will be held because he's a good runner. And we'll make sure there's no shenanigans on the D20. There's not. All right, so here is little Joe Morgan. 5-6, 5-6. A ground ball first base B. It's a fielder's choice. As Yastrzemski throws to Burleson covering. Morgan is the new runner at first, but now he is definitely a threat to steal. He's going to try to get the jump. A 4 through 6, he gets the jump. 7, he will not get the jump, so he will not try to steal. Bill Lee is a -1 hold. Fisk is a -2, makes it a -3. And then by not getting the jump, he would be subtracting 4 from this number, so he'd be down to a 7, 1 to 7. So he's not going to get the jump. He will, of course, be held, but he won't be able to get the jump. So now it brings up Johnny Bench. Double play depth for the Red Sox, trying to turn 2. 2-10. And that's a solid double for Johnny Bench to left field. A double to left. Carbo is in left field, and he's got an arm of -4. So Joe Morgan, run rating is a 17. Being held makes him a 16. And then -4 makes it a 12. So with the big boys coming up, they're going to hold Morgan at third base. So runners are at second and third with 1 out. And George Foster, the batter. I'm sorry, Tony Perez, the batter. And Bill Lee in early trouble. And like I said, there's no tomorrow, so the Red Sox cannot afford to wait too long to bring somebody in from the bullpen. So they do already have stirring down there, believe it or not. They've got right-hander Diego Segui just light tossing down there just in case. But Bill Lee doesn't want to be pulled in the first inning, obviously, but he's got to do a little bit better than what he's doing. The infield is going to come in. They want to cut off that cheap run if they can. It's a 2. It's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. He has a 0 balk rating, and Fisk has a 0 pass ball rating, so no chance of that. We go straight to Tony Perez. The infield, of course, is in. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Doyle. He's a 2E23. See if he can make the play. 2 and a 19 is good. 2 and a 19 is good. And we'll check the runner advancement. That's a 16 on his error check, which is a 23. And there's no 16 there. So a 2 and a 19 is a G1. But of course, we're looking off of the infield in chart, second and third. So the G1 translates to a... I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the other chart. This is the X chart. Got to stick with the X chart. So it's a G1 with the infield in. So we go over here to infield in under G1. It's second and third. Infield in, it says batter. So batter means batter is out, runners hold. So by having the infield in, hello Derek Dodgers Royals fan, by having the infield in, they prevent the run from scoring. Had they been back, the run would have scored. So by having the infield in, they took a chance, and Perez couldn't sneak it past him. So good play for Denny Doyle. That'll bring up Foster. Now first base is open if they want to pitch around Foster and pitch to Perez. I'm sorry, to Concepcion. But then you take the chance of Bill Lee walking somebody. But you know what? They're not going to let George Foster beat them. So they're going to intentionally walk George Foster to load the bases. And already the second guessers are out on Darryl Johnson saying, what are you doing loading the bases? But they'd rather take their chance that Concepcion won't beat them than George Foster. So bases are loaded, force play to any base, 2 down, and Concepcion the batter, nothing on the 20. It's a 2-7, 2-7. Oh, he did something really bad. 2-7 is going to be a base hit. 2-7 on Foster would have popped to short. So you can blame me for that one. Had we pitched to Foster, 2-7 would have been a pop up to short. Inning would have been over. But in this case, the 2-7 is going to be a 2-run, either single or double for Concepcion. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. It's 2 stars. So it's going to be a 2-run single for Concepcion. So Darryl Johnson already kicking himself for walking Foster and letting Concepcion get that hit. But trying to play the percentages, as Concepcion in 1975 was a 274 hitter, Foster a 300 hitter. So playing the percentages, but it backfires just because of what the roll was. So it's 2-0 Reds, and Bill Lee really frustrated. Here's Ken Griffey. He's got to compose himself and get out of this. Concepcion will be held at first base. He will not try to steal, but he will be held. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch. Bill Lee's wild pitch rating is a 1. And there's no wild pitch. So here's Griffey. 5-5 against the lefty, struck him out. So Bill Lee gets the strikeout to end the inning, but damage done. A 2-run single for Dave Concepcion. And again, the second guessers are out for intentionally walking George Foster to load the bases, only to have Concepcion hit a 2-run single. So second guessers can rejoice with that, because we would have gotten Foster out by the roll, but you never know that thing. Hello, Mr. Clinton Parks. How are you doing, sir? Mr. Rear Admiral himself checking in. All right, bottom of the first. It is Bernie Carbo leading things off. He got that leadoff spot in Game 7 due to his Game 6 heroics in real life. Normally, he would never lead off against Don Gullett because he's not very good against lefties, but these are as-play lineups, so got to go with it. 2-11, he grounds to first. That's put away by Tony Perez. 1 down. In fact, the Red Sox have 3 lefties in a row lead off the game, so Daryl Johnson not really worried about lefty-righty in this one, apparently. Hello, RJL. Here's Denny Doyle, 1-10. That's a pop-up to short, so Concepcion's got it, 2 down. Gullett given a 2-0 lead to protect, and he's going to plan on to protecting it as long as he can. Here's Yaz. 1-4 for Yaz. He grounds to Joe Morgan. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Don Gullett. At the end of 1, it's Cincinnati 2 and Boston nothing. And Diego Segui is tossing in the Red Sox bullpen because there's no tomorrow, and they don't want to let this game get away from them. Here's Cesar Geronimo, followed by Don Gullett and Pete Rose. 2-7 for Geronimo. Lefty on lefty is a fly to center. Put away by Fred Lynn, 1 down. And now the pitcher, batting off pitcher hitting card, should be number 4, not number 3. I have these backwards. Pitcher hitting card number 4 is Don Gullett. 3-7, and he struck him out. So it didn't matter if pitching card 3 or 4. That was going to be a strikeout either way with that 3-7. So there are 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and Pete Rose. 4-6. Fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So so Diego Segui is now sat down since Bill Lee seems to have composed himself. We go to the bottom of the second. It is 2-0. And Gullett back on the mound. Carlton Fisk. The batter. 110, and that's a ballpark single check. And again, it's a good day at Fenway, so singles for right-handers are 1-13. So see if Fisk can get that hit. He can. It's a 1, so it's a leadoff single for Carlton Fisk. He will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. There's Fred Lynn. Nothing on the 20. Lynn, 3-7. Lefty on lefty. He's going to strike out. So again, 4 of the first 5 hitters for the Red Sox are left-handed. It's just the way Daryl Johnson set his lineup. All right, here's Petrocelli. There's a 1, chance for a wild pitch. Gullett's a 4. And Gullett will not uncork 1 as Johnny Bench blocks it. Here's Petrocelli. 6-8 for Petrocelli. Ground ball third base B. It's a fielder's choice as Rose goes to Morgan for the force. And now there's 2 away with Petrocelli at first, and he will not even be held. He's a terrible base runner. He will not be held. Here's Dewey Evans. Nothing on the 20. Here's Evans. 4-4 against Gullett. That's a catcher X. That's Johnny Bench. And Bench is a 1-E3. So 1 and a 1. 1 and a 1 for Johnny Bench. 1 and a 1 says it's a W/S, and that's a 16. And Bench is a 3, so no problem. Oh, I take it back. I was premature. There's a 16 there, and Johnny Bench, error rating of 3, 16 right there is 1. So an E1 on the W/S, single and an error batter. And that's what I'm going to, is this W/S based on the 1-1 result. Says single and error, batter to second, runner advances 2 bases. So how about that? A little dribbler in front of the plate by Dewey Evans. It will be scored a single as he reaches. Petrocelli will go to second because of that. But then the bad throw from Bench, E2, puts the runners at second and third now with 2 down. And now Gullett's got to bear down. Actually, it's only 1 away, not 2 away. It's only 1 down. sorry, it's 2 down. My bad. It was a strikeout of Lynn, so there are 2 outs. So 2 outs, runners at second and third for Rick Burleson. Now, Bill Lee is on deck, so you could walk Burleson and force the hand of the manager to see if they will pinch hit this early for Bill Lee, or whether they will let Lee hit. Burleson, you know what? They're going to intentionally walk Burleson and force the hand of Darryl Johnson. And Darryl Johnson didn't think twice about it. He is pulling Bill Lee because they need the offense. They're down 2-0. They can't afford to wait around. So we're going to the bench, and it will be Juan Beniquez for the Red Sox. They can't afford to wait around and use these pinch hitters in the 7th and 8th inning when they're behind by 5 or 6 runs. They got to try to do something now and get back in this game. This is Game 7 mentality where all hands are on deck, and you don't wait around for anything, because you wait around, you're going to get left behind. So Beniquez is up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, down 2-0. Here's Gullett. Nothing on the 20, so it's up to Beniquez. 3-8 for Beniquez, and he doubles to left field. So pinch hit double for Juan Beniquez, and we'll see how many can score. We know Petrocelli will score, and we know Evans will score from second. The question is, can Burleson score? He's a trail runner, so he's not being held. His run rating is a 12, which means he gets a bump to a 13. There are 2 outs, that bumps him to a 15. Foster's a -1's a 14. So a 1 to 14, and he will score as well. And they nail him at the plate. Foster with a great throw. So we'll call it 7 to 6 to 2 on the relay. And they get Burleson at the plate and keep the score at 2 to 2. But it was a good gamble to try to score him. Just didn't quite work out the way they wanted to. All right, so at the end of Forever Maine, I got this dice tower off of Amazon. You just search dice towers and it comes right up. I think it was $65 for this, because it's a really nice cherry, or I forget what kind of wood I'd selected, but it's really, I mean, this will last you a lifetime. So there's nothing cheap about that whatsoever. It's very well made. I highly recommend it. So I don't remember the name of the guy I bought it from. I'd have to go pull my records, but so anyway, Diego Segui, who had sat down, had gotten back up and is going to be in the ball game now. So Diego Segui will be on. Bill Lee goes 2 innings, gives up 2 runs. They were both earned. And let's see, he walked 1, which was intentionally walking Foster. Then he gave up 1, 2, 3 hits, and he struck out 2. So that was a total. The reason they took him out was because they needed the offense, and Juan Beniquez delivered with that double. So 2-2 ball game, and we're starting off fresh with Diego Segui facing Joe Morgan. Hey, Angelo, the score sheet. This is a payoff pitch score sheet. You can go to payoff pitch on their resources page and print off as many blank ones as you like. It's on sidelinestrategies.com. On their resources page, it'll have a thing for blank score sheets. As many as your heart's content. All right, so Joe Morgan, we're facing Segui. 5-10 for Segui against a left-hander. That's a 5-10's a ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be Burleson. He's a 2E30. 2 and a 1's going to get through for a base hit. So how about that? The 1 on the D20 cost the Red Sox. That ball is going to sneak past Burleson for a base hit. That's a 9. He is an E30. E30, there is no 9, but it will be a base hit for Joe Morgan, and he's going to be looking to run, or at least get the jump. He couldn't get the jump last time, but he's going to try again. 4 through 6 will get him that jump. 9, he won't get the jump. Now, Segui, unlike Bill Lee, Segui's a +2 hold rating, so that almost counteracts the Fisk -2, so it does actually, it wipes it out. So Morgan, since he couldn't get the jump, would use his secondary number, and you drop 4, would give him a 10, so it'd be a 50-50 shot. Morgan, knowing the way Morgan is, he would want to try to steal just because he's arrogant enough to do it. So 1 to 10, he's going to take off, and he's going to go. And he's caught stealing, so Joe Morgan Caught stealing by Pudge Fisk. Tried to go even though he couldn't get the jump. Ill-advised, but he did it anyway. And here's Johnny Bench. 3-5 for Bench, and that's a 1 single. Anything else, he lines to Petrocelli. And Petrocelli snags it. 2 up, 2 down now after that caught stealing. Brings up Tony Perez. 4-4. Catcher X, that's Fisk. Fisk is a 2E7. 2 and a 2. Boy, getting some low numbers on these D20 checks. A 2 and a 2. 2 and a 2 is a W/G, and that's an 11. And he's a E7. There is no 11. So it's a W/G. There's nobody on base, so there won't be a wild pitch. It's just going to be a squibber in front of the plate that Fisk will field. Fire to Yaz, and the inning's over. So Diego Segui pitches a shutout inning. How about that? And we go to the bottom of the third, still tied at 2. Don Gullett back out. We're facing top of the order, Bernie Carbo. Bernie Carbo, top of the order. Lead it off. 5-5, and he's going to strike out. So Gullett gets him. 1 down. Here's Denny Doyle. 1-2 for Doyle. He's going to ground it back to Gullett. So an easier inning this time around for Gullett against these left-handers. Here's Yaz. 6-6, and he's going to ground to Perez. That's going to end the inning. 1-2-3, go the Red Sox in the third. We go to the fourth. Still knotted at 2 here in Game 7 of this 1975 series. Still regarded as one of the greatest World Series of all time, if not the greatest. Of course, there's been a lot of good ones, but it's certainly probably one of the first ones that really come to mind when people talk about World Series. All right, so here is George Foster. He was intentionally walked his first time up. 2-8 for Foster. He's going to get a solid single. So George Foster with a single. He's not much of a runner, so they won't even hold him. And that'll bring up Concepcion. Nothing on the 20. 5-8 for Concepcion. Ground ball, second base X. Since they're not holding the runner, Denny Doyle will not lose any of his range. He will keep that range. 2-23. 2E23. But getting these low numbers on the 20 again. Unbelievable. Get these low numbers. A 2 and a 3 is going to be a G3. So he'll at least get to it. The runner will advance. That's a 12, and Doyle's an E23. Nope, the 11 is the problem, not the 12. So it's a good play by Denny Doyle. He was able to just barely get it because he wasn't jockeying with the runner at second base. So Foster will make it to second as the runner advances, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ken Griffey. Foster still not being held at second. 5-9 for Griffey. Ground ball, shortstop X. And again, because they're not holding the runner, the shortstop Burleson is not going to be penalized. It's a 2E30. Finally, a big number on the D20. And we get a 5, which is a rare play. So let's see what happens with that, with the rare play. Hello, Joel. How are you doing? All right, so a 2 for Burleson and a 17. 2 and a 17 is a G1. And we got a rare play. So G1 rare play. If there's a run on first, well, there's not a run on first. So batter grounds out, the runner's holding. So since there's no runners on first, it's just going to be a regular old ground out. Nothing rare about it. And the runner Foster will have to hold. Now, Geronimo is up. Can they walk? Do they walk Geronimo intentionally and pitch to Gullett? I think you kind of have to with the runner in scoring position. You can't take that chance. Geronimo too likely to be able to drive that run in. So they've walked Geronimo and will pitch to the pitcher, Don Gullett. Nothing on the 20. Here's Gullett, who I believe bats right-handed, if I'm not mistaken. He's a right-hand, even though he pitches left-handed, he bats right-handed. So this is actually a righty-on-righty matchup. 4-8. That's a 1-14 single. 15 to it's only 1 star though, so it would load the bases. 15-20, he lines to Burleson. And it's a 1, so that's going to be a base hit for Gullett. How about that? They walk Geronimo to get to the pitcher, and the pitcher of Gullett gets a base hit, but it's only 1 star. So the bases are now loaded with 2 down for Pete Rose. And Segui is in trouble, and Red Sox bullpen Lefty Jim Burton is loosing in the pen, as they can't. You got some lefties coming up. They can't afford to. Well, they don't have too many left. They got Morgan coming up, so if they can't get Rose, they're going to let. They're not going to let Segui pitch to Morgan, I don't believe. All right, bases loaded, 2 outs. Nothing on the 20. Rose, a switch hitter, batting left-handed for the first time. 5-10. Ground ball, shortstop X. Nobody's being held, so he keeps the 2E30 for Burleson. Let's see if he can get to it. 2 and a 7 should be okay. 2 and a 7 is a G2, and that's an 8. He's an E30 for a shortstop. There is no 8, so it's a good play. Burleson gets to it. He will flip to Doyle covering to get the sliding gullet for the force. And Segui pitches out of that. Bases loaded jam. And Segui actually now goes 2 innings of shutout relief. How about that? Who would have thought that from Diego Segui? All right, here is Don Gullett. Don Gullett. Back out. Thought they had a run possibly with him getting a base hit, but other ideas. Here's Fisk. 3-9 for Fisk. He's going to ground it to Morgan. That's 1 away. That'll bring up Freddie Lynn. 6-8, and that's a pop-up to Concepcion. 2 down. 2 up, 2 down for Rico. 5-3, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 3 E0, so he will not make an error, but we got to make sure he can get to it. 3 and a 7 should be all right for a pitcher. 3 and a 7 is a G3, so it's good enough for Gullett to get to it, and that will end the inning. So 4 innings are in the books, and we're still tied at 2. And they're going to, you know what, they're going to let Segui keep going. He's thrown 2 shutout innings. Why not? He's got a relief rating of 3, so he's not tired. And after Morgan, you got a whole bunch of right-handers still up there because of the left-handed starter, Bill Lee. So they're going to leave Segui in there. 1-7 for Morgan. That's a leadoff walk. That's dangerous. Morgan will get another chance to try to get the jump. He's 0 for 2 on getting jumps, but if he can get the jump, he's almost a guaranteed steal. So let's see. The jump, 4 through 6. Cannot get it. Boy, he's not having a good luck getting the jump. He got caught stealing last time, trying to steal without the jump. So they're going to forego that. And now we have Johnny Bench. Nothing on the 20. 1-7 for Bench, and that's another walk. So Segui now having some trouble with the strike zone, and Burton has sat down for the Red Sox, but right-hander Jim Willoughby is loosening in the bullpen now, because he may need to get called in pretty quickly because there's 2 on and there's nobody out. And Tony Perez, the batter. So you got Perez and Foster coming up. Morgan will be held on second. They're trying to bird dog him and keep him close. 2-7, and that's a 1-9 single. 10-20, they line it to Petrocelli. And that's a liner that Petrocelli will snag. Both runners get back. And there's 1 away. Brings up George Foster. Nothing on the 20 for Foster. 6-9, and that's trouble. 1-15 is a home run. And 16-20 is a triple. This is going to be it for Segui, I got a feeling. And it's gone. A 3-run homer for George Foster. Over the Green Monster. He takes Segui deep. So Segui went 2 innings but was playing with fire. And he finally got burned. And that's going to be it for Segui. He's going to be exiting the game. And actually Jim Burton will be coming in now because after Concepcion you have Griffey and Geronimo. And they also have, he's going to bat third. So they just want somebody in there to get through this inning. So Jim Burton, the lefty, will be on as Segui gives up that big 3-run homer, and now the fans in Boston are groaning. And Darrell Johnson is not a happy man. All right, so Foster, the big 3-run bomb. It's 5-2 Cincinnati here in the 5th. All right, here is Concepcion. 3-4. That's a ballpark single check, and that's 1-13. 15, though, is going to line it to short to end the inning. So Burton faces one batter and gets him out. Segui goes 2 and wait a minute, that's only 2 outs. My bad. I'm cutting them short here, aren't I? That's only 2 outs for the Reds. I don't want to shortcut them an out. So that's only 2 outs because Perez lined out and now Concepcion lines out. So Griffey is up. Hold the phone. Griffey's up. 2 outs, base is clear. Got to give him the 3 outs. 6-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Burleson. 2 E30. 2 and an 8's good. E30 and a 9 is good. So now we can close the book. 2/3 of an inning for Burton. 2 1/3 for Segui. So Burton, 2/3 of an inning, giving up nothing. Segui gives up 3 runs. That big 3-run homer. Preceded by 2 walks, which were the killer. And he also actually has 3 walks because he intentionally walked Geronimo. So he actually walked 3 in relief. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And how many did he strike out? He struck out nobody. I don't see any strikeouts there. So no strikeouts. All right, so a 3 spot for Cincinnati. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 5-2. Favor the Reds, and now Sparky's looking awful happy over there. Now for the Red Sox, they've already used Benitez as a pinch hitter, so now they're going to have to go to somebody else to pinch hit. They do have Cecil Cooper available. But as far as right-handers go, they got Doug Griffin, Bob Montgomery, and Bob Heiss. Not very good choices. So let's see. I think they're going to actually use Doug Griffin. They're going to try to save Cooper for later in the game in case they face a righty reliever. So it's going to be Evans, Burleson, and Griffin. Evans, Burleson, and Griffin are your batters here in the bottom of the 5th. And new pitcher will be Willoughby in the top of the 6th for the Red Sox. All right, so Evans, the batter. The Red Sox try to get back these 3 runs. 2-6, well, they're off to a good start. It's the leadoff single for Dewey Evans. He will not be held and will not be going anywhere. Here is Mr. Burleson. Nothing on the 20. 5-7, that's a strikeout. Burleson out on strikes, and now the pinch hitter Doug Griffin steps to the plate. Nothing on the 20. 2-6 for Griffin. He lines out to Joe Morgan for out number 2. So Griffin is out of there. And just for kicks and giggles, Cecil Cooper on a 2-6 would have singled 2 stars. So what do you know? You're trying to play the percentages and it just doesn't work out. All right, here's Carbo. Nothing on the 20. 4-6. And Carbo's going to do damage. 1-3 is a double, 4-20 is a single, but it's 2 stars, so the run will not score even with 2 outs. But a 1-3 is a double. Nope, it's going to be a single, 2 stars for Carbo. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 down for Denny Doyle, who was the hero of Game 6. See if Doyle can do it. But that was against a right-hander, not a left-hander. 2-11. Well, they got a ballpark single check, and that's 1-16 for lefties. But it's an 18. Doyle lines it to Morgan. Boy, you would have thought he would have gotten that base hit. But 1-16, he had a very, very good chance, but the D20 was not kind. And the inning is over. So Jim Willoughby will be on for the Red Sox to pitch starting the 6th inning. Jim Willoughby. And he'll be facing Geronimo, Gullett, and Rose. Reds lead at 5-2 here in the 6th. 2-6 pops up to Yaz for out number 1 at first base. That'll bring up Gullett, pitcher rating card number 4. Again, a righty-on-righty matchup. 5-5 struck him out. So Gullett out on strikes, 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Pete Rose. 2-10 for Rose, and that's a split chance. 1-4 is a single. Anything else, he lines to Doyle. And it's a liner right to Denny Doyle to end the inning. So Willoughby, 1-2-3 here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 5-2. Gullett's still in good shape. His fatigue number is a 7. But of course, Captain Hook, Sparky Anderson, will be keeping a short leash on him because they've got some good bullpen guys with Clay Carroll, Will McEnany, and Raleigh Eastwick. All right, here we go. Yaz to lead off. He's 0 for 2. 4-9. Well, he's got a chance at a single. 1-9 is a single. 10-20, he grounds to Perez. And it's a base hit for Yaz. Leadoff single. Yaz will be held on. And here's Carlton Fisk. Nothing on the 20. Fisk is due. 4-8. And he walks. So all of a sudden, Red Sox getting some base runners. And now Clay Carroll is loosening down the Reds bullpen. As Sparky will not tolerate this. Here's Fred Lynn. Nothing on the 20. Lynn is a tying run. 3-6. 1-8's a single. 9-20, he grounds to Morgan for a fielder's choice. That's a 19. It's a fielder's choice. 4-6. Force play. Retires Fisk at second. Yaz will go to third. So runners are on the corners with 1 out, and Lynn will be held at first. For Rico Petrocelli. Gullett, nothing on the 20. Here's Rico. 4-10. 4-10 is a ballpark single check. And again, it's a 1-13 for right-handers. And it's a 15, so he's going to line it to short. Boy, that D20 has just not been kind to the Red Sox. They've had some good chances, but rolling some high numbers has just not been in their favor. So here's Dewey Evans. It's up to him to get this done with runners on base. 1-4, and all these hits in column 1, and he found a ground ball to third. Pete Rose retires him to end the inning. The Red Sox leave 2 on base, 1 at third base, and they may look back at this 6th inning as failed opportunities. All right, so Willoughby back out for his 2nd inning of work. He went 1-2-3 in the 6th. Here's Morgan. Morgan has reached base all 3 times, but he couldn't get the jump. 1-6, though, he may not need to jump. 1-6 is a double. 7-20 is a single. That's a 9, so he's going to single. He's going to try to get the jump again. First, you don't succeed, keep trying. He's 0 for 3 on jumps. 4 through 6 to get the jump. Can't get it again. Boy, he just for some reason, he's just not reading the pitcher correctly because he can't get the jump. And Willoughby is a -2 hold rating, so you don't want to mess around there. Nothing on the 20. Here is Johnny Bench. 1-7 for Bench, and he walks. All these strikeouts and outs, and he found a 1-7 walk. And that's going to put 2 on with nobody out for Tony Perez, and things are looking bleak here for the Sox. As nobody in the bullpen seems to be a very good answer. Perez, 5-5, struck him out. That was a big strikeout for Willoughby. 1 down, and here's Foster at that big 3-run homer. He's the difference in the game right now. That 3-run homer. This is a 1. Wild pitch rating is a 9 for Willoughby. And it's another 1, so Willoughby uncorks the wild pitch. That will take the double play out of possibilities, and now they got to bring the infield in against Foster because they just can't afford to give up another cheap run. Nothing on the 20. Here's Foster. Infield is in. 3-6. Struck him out. Big strikeout there for Willoughby. 2 down, and it's up to Concepcion. Infield can go back to normal. Concepcion, nothing on the 20. Here's Concepcion. 3-7, and he singles to right field. Boy, another big single for Concepcion. He had a 2-run single in the 1st. He's going to probably get a 2-run single here in the 7th as well. The single is to right field, though, so Dewey Evans does have a -4 arm. So Bench, he is the trail runner, was not being held, so he runs it a 12, makes it a 13, and there are 2 outs, makes it a 15, but then you drop 4 on Evans, makes him to an 11. But they're going to try it anyway. A 1-11, he will score. And he threw him out, so Evans got him. 9-2 as Evans hit a laser down to Fisk. And they get Bench at the plate, but a run scores. It is now 6-2 Cincinnati. They figure with the 6-2 lead, why not send him? Not really going to hurt anything. So Reds now lead at 6-2 as Willoughby will be replaced. Don Gullett is back in there, and we're up to another pinch hitter, so this time Cecil Cooper will pinch hit for the pitcher Willoughby. It'll be Burleson, Cooper, and Carbo due up in the 7th for the Reds as they are running, I'm sorry, for the Red Sox as they are running out of outs. All right, here is hello, Bob. I didn't see you come in. And Gerald, Appa Brian, thank you all for joining. Here's Rick Burleson. And this is the fatigue inning for Gullett. 6-7, struck him out. No fatigue there. Strikeout. So now that I bring up Cecil Cooper, pinch hitter. Pinch hitter Cecil Cooper. See what he can do against Gullett. He's not very proficient against lefties, but they don't really have a whole lot on the bench. 4-4, catcher X. That's Johnny Bench. Bench is a 1, E3. 1-18. 1-18 is a ground out, and that's a 10. And Bench is a 3, so no problem there. Just a 2-3 ground out. A little nubber in front of the plate. Cecil Cooper failed miserably. 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and Bernie Carbo. 6-12, and that's a 2-out walk by Gullett. Carbo will not be held. Here's Denny Doyle. Nothing on the 20. Doyle. 4-6. Doyle's going to come through. 1-3 is a double. 4-20 is a single, but 2 stars on each, so the run cannot score. But we probably have runners on the corners. That's exactly what we have. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. For Carl Yastrzemski, boy, if you wanted somebody up there for the Red Sox, here's your man, Captain Carl. 6-7, but he grounds to Joe Morgan to end the inning. And Gullett gets through 7 innings, and he's going to be lifted going into the 8th because his turn comes to bat. So he gave Sparky everything they wanted. 7 innings and just 2 runs. The big double by Juan Beniquez, pinch hit double. There was an error on a throw, but he would have scored on the double anyway, so they're going to call them both earned. So Gullett goes 7 innings. How many hits he gave up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's check walks and strikeouts. That walk was intentional. So walk there is 2, walk there is 3. So 3 walks, 1 was intentional. Strikeouts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 strikeouts. Not that many strikeouts, but he meandered through the lineup, and when he was in trouble, he got out of it. That was the important part. So now for the Red Sox, since Willoughby was pinch hit for, they need a new pitcher. So the Red Sox now will turn in their bullpen. They will turn to left-hander, their other left-hander, Roger Moret. So Roger Moret. They've already used Burton, so Moret's the other lefty because you do have Griffey and Geronimo coming up, a couple of lefties. So it's going to be Roger Moret. Close the book on Willoughby. And Willoughby, let's see here. He went 2 innings. And he gave up a run, 2 hits and a walk. The run was earned, and he struck out 3. So now that will send up Moret to face Griffey, Geronimo, and a pinch hitter, and the pinch hitter for the Reds. Hey Clark, how you doing? Clark Rotz, how you doing? Pinch hitter for the Reds is going to be Merv Retman. Merv Retman's going to pinch hit, right-hander. So it's going to be 2 lefties, Griffey and Geronimo, followed by Merv Retman. They do have probably their best pinch hitter is Dan Dreesen, but he's left-handed, so they're going to go ahead and let Retman pinch hit. They've got a 6-2 lead, so why not? Okay, Roger Moret against Griffey here in the 8th. 1-8, ground ball to second, pulled in by Doyle, throws over to Yaz, 1 away. Cesar Geronimo. 2-9 for Geronimo. 1-4 is a double. Anything else, it'll be flagged down by Dewey Evans. And Evans tracks it down for the out, saves a double. 2 down for the pinch hitter, Merv Retman. 4-8, and that's a 2-out walk to Merv Retman. And Retman will be held because he does run pretty well. So he will be held. Here's Pete Rose. Nothing on the 20. Rose now turns around to bat right-handed again. 5-11. That's a fly ball right field X. That's Dewey Evans. He's a 1E6. We know he's going to get to it because he's a 1. We're checking for an error on an E6. E6 and a 7. I think that'll be okay, but you never know. E6 and a 7. There is no 7, so good play for Dewey Evans. He makes the catch, and Rose is retired, as are the Reds. So Moret keeps the score right where it is. And now the new pitcher coming in for the Reds is going to be right-hander Clay Carroll. So Clay Carroll, Sparky does not really want to see Pedro Borbon right now. So Clay Carroll is the man who's going to be coming on. I don't think Borbon will see the light of day, actually. So here's Carlton Fisk. He will be the leadoff man against Clay Carroll. 3-8 for Fisk, and he grounds it to short. It's going to be put away by Concepcion. He throws to Perez, one away for Freddie Lynn. 3-7 for Lynn, and he draws a 1-out walk. Lynn will be held. Brings up Petrocelli. 1, that's a chance for a wild pitch, which is on Carroll is a 6. And it's a 7, no wild pitch. Petrocelli, 4-9. Damage done. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a double. That's a 17. It's a double. But with only 1 out and you're down by 4, they're not going to take a chance. The double went to center field, and Geronimo's got a -5 arm. So no way in the world are we going to take a chance there, especially the way the D20's been going. So now with runners at second and third and 1 out, it is Dewey Evans. And the infield is back, of course, with a 6-2 lead. They'll trade the run for the out for sure. Evans trying to get something off of Clay Carroll. 5-8. Fly ball right field B. It's a sacrifice fly, so they do trade the run for the out. Lynn will come in to score. Cuts the lead to 6-3. But now there's 2 down for Rick Burleson. Rick Burleson is up. Carroll, nothing on the 20. Burleson with a base hit could cut the lead to 1 run. 4-5, but he grounds to Pete Rose at third to end the inning. Red Sox do get a run, cut the lead to 6-3 as we go to the 9th. Last chance here. Moret will be out to face Morgan. Perez and Foster. Dick Drago is in the bullpen in case Moret falters. And for the Reds, Raleigh Eastwick has picked up a bat. Actually, Will McEnany and Raleigh Eastwick both are loosening. And with lefties coming up, very well could be a Raleigh Eastwick. I'm sorry, a Will McEnany 9th. We shall see. In fact, McEnany was on the mound when the Reds won it in real life on Game 7. All right, so here we go. Joe Morgan facing Moret. 1-8 for Morgan. That's a single. So again, Morgan will reach again, and for the 5th time, he's going to try to get the jump. Says, gosh darn it, I got to get the jump eventually. And he does. It's a 5. He finally gets the jump. Moret's a +3, so that's going to be bad news. Morgan's a 19 when he gets the jump. Being held makes him a 17, but the +3 makes him a 20, and Fisk -2 makes him an 18. So 1-18, and Morgan will steal it. Barely. He just gets in there. Stolen base. Wow. So Moret not being able to hold the runners on cost him there. So Morgan will be on second. He will be held. And I believe, are we going to get, yep, they're going to make the move. They're going to make the move to Dick Drago. Dick Drago will be coming on. With these right-handers coming up, they're going to go to Drago. He is the 6th pitcher to bat in the inning. And we might get a double switch because the pitcher is set to bat 9th. So, but I don't know who they would switch out, to be honest with you, because there's not a whole lot going on here. They're just going to let Drago go, and if he pinch hit for him in the 9th. If they're lucky enough to send it to extra innings, so be it. So Drago is on. Can't close the book yet on Moret because runner is on base. But right now he has gone an inning plus without allowing a run. He walked the batter and gave up a hit, but we don't know about the runs. All right, so Johnny Bench, runner at second. I think I already rolled the 20. Don't need to roll it again. Here's Bench. 3-5 for Bench. A 1 is a single. Anything else, he lines it right to Petrocelli, and that's exactly what he does. Petrocelli snags it. Morgan jumps back to second. 1 away for Tony Perez. And the dangerous George Foster. So you can't walk Perez and pitch around him because Foster's just as dangerous. Nothing on the 20 for Perez. 4-6. Ground ball to short. That's going to freeze the runner. Morgan at second. 2 down for George Foster. Foster the batter. Nothing on the 20. Here's Foster. 1-7 for Foster. Boy, 1-8 would have been a home run chance. 1-7, he flies to center. And that's going to end the inning. So Drago goes 1 inning. And we can close the book on one with no runs. Drago, a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Will McEnany, the lefty, coming on for the Reds to try to close the deal. They do have Eastwick warming up behind him in case he struggles. But Will McEnany will be on. And we'll close the book here on Clay Carroll. 1 inning pitched. He gave up a walk and a hit and a run, which was earned. And now, pinch hitting time for the Red Sox as Drago is set to lead off, so there will be a pinch hitter for Drago. We've already used Cooper, Griffin, and Beniquez, so the only other right-hander they have on the bench is Bob Montgomery or Heiss, so it looks like Montgomery is going to be your batter. Bob Montgomery, the backup catcher, is going to pinch hit. Bob Montgomery is your pinch hitter here against Will McEnany. Had we had Eastwick in the game, they would have used Rick Miller, lefty, but actually Montgomery's got a better average than Miller does. So they're going to go with Bob Montgomery. 2-7 for Montgomery, and he grounds to short. 1 away, just for kicks and giggles. Rick Miller on a 2-7 against a lefty would have flied to right. Bob Heiss would have gotten a single had we used Bob Heiss, but Bob Heiss only hit 214 and Montgomery hit 226, so I was going with the better average. But that's just the way it goes. So he's out of there, 1 away, and we're back to the top of the order, and Bernie Carbo, who again struggles against lefties. He's trying to see if he can find maybe a walk in there, or maybe get a hit off the pitcher card, one or the other. 6-9, he struck him out, so McEnany strikes out Carbo. Red Sox down to their final out, and it's Denny Doyle. Can Denny Doyle keep the inning going? 6-3. 5-6. Fly ball to center field, and just like real life, McEnany will jump in the arms of Johnny Bench, and the Cincinnati Reds win it by the final score of 6-3 as history repeats itself as the Reds get the victory. McEnany does get the save. It was a save situation. Gullett gets the win, and the loser is Diego Segui. 1 inning pitch for McEnany. He got a strikeout, nothing else. We'll do the totals and clean up some of the logistics on this. So hits for the Reds, 7. They got 10 hits. These are all unofficial because I'm doing them kind of fast. So if we pull in the score sheet here, for the Reds, 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. For the Red Sox, 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Winning pitcher was Don Gullett. The loser was Diego Segui. And the save goes to Will McEnany. And the Reds repeat history, win the 1975 World Series 4-3, just like they did in real life. And of course, this was done over 4 different game engines. Replay Baseball, History Maker Baseball, Inside Pitch, and Strat-O-Matic. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing those game engines handle these different scenarios with the different teams and different World Series games. Thought it'd be something a little bit unusual or unique to try to do. So hopefully it was fun for me. Hopefully you guys had fun watching and following it. And now I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do next, because I've kind of finished everything I was going to do. What I will probably do is I need to finish the Mark Fidrych inside pitch replay. That kind of got put to the side when I was doing these 1977 playoffs and now this 75 series. So I'm thinking about pulling out inside pitch and getting back to Mark Fidrych to finish those starts. I think I got about 12 more to do to get him finished. And then the next thing I'm thinking about doing is getting back into some payoff pitch baseball. There's been some rule amendments which seem kind of cool that I want to look into. And I did buy the 1986 PDF version of payoff pitch. And they actually, as well, they have some newer versions of the ballpark cards, which I think are pretty neat. So this is what the updated version of a ballpark card looks like in payoff pitch. You see it's got a nice different design there. Instead of the old version where it was going sideways across, it's now the range is in one vertical spot and the error check is in another vertical spot. Lots of nice coloring and so forth. So, and then when you look at the cards themselves, the PDFs, they're nice and big font, which for somebody older like me is nice to have, so I can read these things pretty well. Granted, the quality of the printed set is nothing compares to it, but I got a lot of printed sets already, so I figured on my budget, the quickest way to be able to afford this was to do the PDF, and they did have a PDF sale temporarily last week, I think it was. So for less than $10, I was able to do that. Now it did cost some ink and some paper, but I already had the ink and paper on hand, so figured I don't usually print a whole lot, so this is a good time to print them out and get them going. And on top of that, what they have come out with since then, if I can find it, I had it with me, now I gotta find it again. What they have done, what Joe has done, Joe Bryant has done, as a little perk, is come out with the score sheets on their website, which are pre-filled with the lineups, and the ratings are already in there as well. So that will save a whole lot of time if I wanted to do any kind of a season project or anything. The PDF sale goes until 31st. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for that. Alan, I think it'd be kind of hard to do that. I don't know how I would pull that one off. That would be a little bit too much for that. Mark, I may do a wrap-up show. I do have the stats for the 77 White Sox. I was not really thrilled with how they came across when they printed out from Strat, because they're kind of all over the place, but I certainly could possibly do something like that. But I do like these payoff pitch score sheets. I have something similar from payoff pitch in 1973 when I bought them a couple years ago. They had a thing where they were giving out the pre-filled lineups. And I'm telling you, if you're doing a season replay, part of time consumption is filling out score sheets. So if you have them pre-filled like this, and of course I don't write, you could tell by my score sheet that my penmanship is not exactly in the top of the class. So it's nice to have the nice printed sheets where you can see everything nice and clear. All the ratings are in there. They even have a note here about the date and what number game it is. So I printed these off two-sided. So game 1 and game 2 are right here. The 86 season has a really lot of interesting teams in the American League. However, I'm a National League guy, and after playing the 77 White Sox replay with the DH for the whole season, I really want to play a season without the DH. So I'm thinking about doing a San Diego Padres 1986 replay, since I'm a Padres fan, or at least I was back in the day, in the 80s, with Tony Gwynn and so forth. And, you know, the team wasn't all that great, but sometimes I don't want to play a team that wins all that. I don't want to do a Mets replay or a Houston Astros replay for somebody that won the division. I'd rather I feel like I'd be more challenged to do a team that's not quite as great. But of course, growing up, or not growing up, but being a Padre fan, I did follow this quite a bit. So I will probably do this. I doubt very much of it's going to be on video. Probably will do this just as a side thing, because a lot of the times, a lot of my hobby is done off camera. Most of my games that I play are off camera because I just like to have the quietness of being by myself and just rolling some games like many of you guys do. So that's going to do it from here. The 75 series is done. Thank you all for tuning in. I felt like Game 7 had to be done live. It wouldn't have made sense to do it otherwise. Hello, Aiden. If I didn't say hi to you earlier, I apologize for that. So that's pretty much going to do it for the 75 replay. What I might be, I don't think I have that handy. I was going to try to show the 77 White Sox stats that I had, but I don't think I have those handy with me to get into right now, so probably won't be able to do that because I doubt I can find them. They're probably buried in some other report somewhere. So I'll have to, that's something I got to plan, I think. So most likely, inside pitch, Mark Fidrich finishing up that replay will be the next focus of the videos on the channel, because I do want to finish that replay and see how good inside pitch, or how close inside pitch does as far as statistics and so forth. So far, I must say, through the first 12 or 13 games, that it's been quite believable, quite good. Nothing outlandish. Certainly, a lot of the stats are pretty much right in line. So far, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, there are some rule addendums in inside pitch that I need to familiarize myself with. One being the throwing error. So I need to really make sure before I do a Fidrich replay next game that I read up on those rules to make sure I'm up to snuff on those kind of things. So let's see here. Anybody else new come in? I don't think so. But I do, like I said, I do appreciate you guys coming in and kind of keep me company while I play this 75 series. These are the Strat Gems. Of course, I don't have the 75 Strat season because it's not out and available, at least not where I can get it. Not on their website. Maybe go black market and get it or whatever. But these are from the Strat Gems set, so that's where I got these from. I wish Payoff Pitch had 75 teams, because I would have used that game engine as well, but they unfortunately do not offer them, at least not yet. Maybe in the future they will. But 86 seems to be the one that's going to interest me the most, because not many games have 86 out there. Inside Pitch does, but I don't have Inside Pitch 86. APA does, and I do have that, and Strat does, and I do have that. But APA, it's okay. It's just not my favorite. And with Strat 86, you're missing a lot of cards. So maybe Joe, Joe's kind of doing those every couple of years, or every year or so he adds in a season or so. Now he's also, according to the message boards, is coming out with another fictional set to follow up on the cab set from about 6 years ago. So for those that are interested in that, I did buy the cab fictional set earlier in the year, and that's kind of fun. Kind of reminds me a little bit of History Maker, but so that could be kind of fun. I just want to see how he did that, so that's the reason I bought the set. So yeah, I think Inside Pitch, Mark Fidrich is going to be the next thing when I get back on to doing the project, to try to finish up that project. I don't like to leave projects hanging in the wind if I can avoid it. So I really want to get that done. If anybody saw, I was on talking with ID Jester on his channel, giving the World Series preview, and of course I kind of crapped the bed on my prediction because I had Tampa Bay in 6, and obviously that's not going to happen. Tampa Bay may very well win Game 6, because the Dodgers kind of have some schlub and 8 guys from Compton pitching. But you got to deal with Walker Buehler in Game 7, and I just don't see Tampa Bay beating Walker Buehler in a Game 7. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. So ID said Dodgers in 6. I don't think it's going to happen in 6. I think Tampa Bay wins this game tonight, or actually tomorrow night. I think they're off tonight. I think on Tuesday night, Tampa wins that game. Just in case, A, it's a must-win game, so they're going to play it like a Game 7. And B, you don't have Kershaw and you don't have Walker Buehler. So I think if it gets to the battle of the bullpens, I think Tampa has the advantage. And we shall see. I don't even remember the name of the guy that's supposed to be started. It's like an opener that's starting for the... Bob ID is slowly trying to get back into the sports genre. He has played a couple of videos on his channel where he's done like Fall Classic and some other things. I think he's still primarily a war gamer, but I guess once in a while he wants to delve back into sports. It's just whatever, floats his boat at the moment, I guess. So we shall see. And again, I'm also reading some of the new rules that are in Payoff Pitch that I pulled off the website. There's some new categories like in play with a slash, patient with a slash, in play single, percentage roll plus 10, percentage roll plus 20. So some of those things are a little bit different. I did notice as well on the on some of the cards, some of the ratings, like Tony Gwynn's got a 4+ B. So just the number, it's a plus. And according to the rules, plus means that you increase their jump rating by 1 the first time he tries to steal. So does Payoff Pitch have pass balls? I know they got wild pitches. Pass ball might come up on a rare play chart, I think. But I don't believe they have a pass ball as far as catchers allowing pass balls. It probably does. Like I said, I haven't played Payoff Pitch in a while, so I'm kind of rusty on the rules. I got to play a few practice games to get back in the swing of things. But I know they have a wild pitch rating, 30 through whatever on the pitcher card. If you roll a 30, 31, 32, 33, something like that, then that is a wild pitch. I don't know about the pass balls. I'm sure it's in there. I just have to go pull out the rules and get back to playing. And that's the only way I'm going to get back in the swing of things, is to actually play a game. I'm not very good with just sitting down with rules. I need to have the rules and the game in front of me and just roll them out and see how it turns out. So Payoff Pitch 86 is something I'm looking forward to delving into, even though it is PDF. Like I said, PDFs are fine by me because the card font is bigger, and obviously the price was right on time. And I may splurge with a printed set at some point later on. I've got a whole bunch of printed sets already that I haven't gotten to get a chance to play, so I need to start using what I've got before I start buying more stuff, I think. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Hope you all enjoyed the 75 World Series played on 4 separate games. Hopefully you are enjoying the current World Series with the Dodgers and the Rays. I'm kind of pulling for the Rays myself, but I don't have a dog in the fight per se because I really don't care. If the Dodgers win, so be it. I'm not going to be upset about it. I know ID is a big Rays fan, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. I hope it goes 7 games. That's all I hope, because I like to see 7-game series. So hopefully it goes 7 games. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. Be sure to tune in to some of the other folks that have channels here and support them in their endeavors to put things out there, whether it be somebody like RJL or somebody like the Earls from Strat, or whether it be an ID or an Al Red Sox fan or Uncle Ron, or I'm sure I'm forgetting people off the left and right. Appa Brian, I think, puts on some things on his channel, and who else am I forgetting here? Tribe Fan has some things out there, I think. Tony from with his Tom Seaver stuff is doing a lot of stuff. So whether it be Payoff Pitch or some other game. So there's a lot of people out there that do produce content. So I encourage you to follow along. as I listen to quite a few of those channels as well while I'm working, just to have some noise in the background. I don't actually follow it that closely, but it does give me good background noise when I'm working. Rather than listen to music or something like that, I'll just listen to somebody roll a game, and just kind of gets me in the mood to do it when I finish work. So hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. If anybody is a WWE fan, which I used to be a long time ago, I used to be really into the wrestling a long time ago. It's gotten really to the point now where it's almost unwatchable. It's kind of almost hilarious. But of course, they have their Monday night show, which is a famous show every Monday night. Bears and Rams, I think, are the Monday night game tonight for football. So no baseball until tomorrow. That's the World Series, Rays and Dodgers. So take care, everybody. Have a great Monday. And like I said, encourage you to watch the other folks that produce content to support them. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play. How you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.